Hello, friends, and welcome to episode 192 of The Rewind, a podcast dedicated to keeping its listeners on the cutting edge of the MMORPG Pantheon Rise of the Fallen. There's nothing I love more than thanking you all, the listeners, whether live on chat on Saturday at noon Eastern, listening to us on your favorite podcast platform, or blowing up Draq's DMs about how he works at VR. We couldn't do the show without you. Thank you so much. Now that we have all the sappy stuff out of the way, we could use your help with producing the show. If you have the means and your very generous dollars, definitely not loonies. Get out of here with your filthy Canadian money, Vendini. We don't want your loonies, only dollars. Check out our Patreon page in the link below. Or pick a tier as a YouTube member and just choose whichever level works for you. Lastly, this week has no guests, so you don't have to worry about another 3-hour Nathan Napalm episode or anything like that. Still no Joppa either, so it's going to be a short and sweet love fest to the two best classes in Pantheon, the Warrior and the Wizard. Strap in as we go skill by skill and give our impressions on the new updates to Draq and I's current main classes. Now, on with the show!
Banners whipped in the wind like serpents as the war band crested the ridge. 12 armored warriors, each wielding a towering standard instead of a blade. Banner Knights. Anton Duvidatis, the Darkmere Shaman Glyph Keeper, murmured. They channel ancestral fury through those flags. Churudu, the Gnome Summoner, blinked. They brought flags to fight? One banner crashed down, sending a shockwave through the earth. Calrock and Archbishops, both Dwarf Paladins, slammed shields into the dirt. Those aren't flags, Calrock growled. They're bloody siege engines. Ealiv, the Halfling Rogue, zipped between their legs. Fine, I'll steal the stitching. Ziplox, the Darkmere Rogue, nodded. I'll take the pole. Annoying Llama, the human monk, dodged a banner's sweeping arc. Such grace, it's like fighting with wind. Screech, the Scar Bard, laughed and began composing mid-duel. Beware the flag that breaks your back, a crimson wave, a deadly smack. Anton chanted, anchoring magic into the soil. Hold them still. On it! Churudu shouted, unleashing a storm of summoned wasps. Dwimble, the gnome rogue, tied two banners together behind enemy limes. They're gonna trip so hard. And trip they did, crashing into a tangled heap of colors and pride. Their banners fell. The heroes stood.
This week in Visionary Realms News and Notes.
All right, Dymlos, VR news and notes. Brad's original class, one of the things that he's known for is the War Wizard. That's the original cool badass class. And so by your and I's powers combined, we formed the War Wizard.
Captain War Wizard! Does that mean you're the heart? Are you Mati?
I am the heart and the soul because you have no heart or soul. So.
Well, I mean, there was no soul in Captain Planet. He was just a lifeless formation of all the elements and heart.
Wow. This has gone way deeper than I wanted it to. But anyway, we have, since our last recording, we have had a patch and we have had some updates specifically to our main classes, which our main classes haven't had updates in a while.
It's been a while.
So we are all over this.
Yeah, I'm super excited to talk about something that, we know about.
That we
How
know
awesome
about.
Is that?
We can actually be educated.
We can actually have a really informative podcast today, unlike the rest of the podcasts that we just make up. Just kidding, everybody. We don't make up stuff.
Well, I feel like the Warrior actually got more updates than the Wizard, so I'm going to let you go ahead and go first.
Well, I think that's because the Warrior had literally nothing. If you remember, Draq, at the start or right before EA launched, we had skills up to level 10. The lowest of any class by far, especially of the tanks. At least the Paladin and the Dire Lord went up to 15. The poor warriors. And we made fun of these warriors so much too, because in pre-alpha, if you remember, Draq, there were warriors that were like level 35, well past what was probably green to the graveyard at that point, and they still only had skills up to level 10.
I'm sorry, I don't remember anything past all classes and all races having skills up to 40. That's all I remember.
Oh, right. That's when we talk about the dark, that's what we're talking about. Yeah, so it's really nice to have this update. It fleshes out a little bit more stuff. They're still not done. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy where the warrior is at now because I had literally nothing for so long. So let's break this down. If you've got patch notes, you'll notice that I'm going in pretty much order of the patch notes just to keep it easy. And I'm going to give my thoughts on all these things. Now that I've played with it about 6 hours, maybe closer to 10, I've got a pretty good idea of where I'm at with this and how I feel about them. So first and foremost, banners officially are off the utility bar, because without these banners being moved off the utility bar, I would have no room for anything. And it's wonderful because it's brought back a skill like shield block. I was never able to have shield block on my bar because it really doesn't do a huge amount. It just does some extra blocking for a couple seconds and was not more advantageous than, say, one of my banners that I needed to flip back and forth between.
Wasn't shield block that ability that was supposed to be like the warrior's like main skill, like a monk feign death, and it was supposed to be like action combat-y, and you were supposed to like time it, and like it was gonna be like this big engaging emergent gameplay with warrior? Isn't that the same shield bash you're talking or shield block you're talking about?
Maybe, but it definitely doesn't work like that. All it does is you throw up a shield and it gives you a couple extra blocks. It's not even like a divine aura where it just blocks literally everything that comes in. It's just literally it shaves off a little bit of damage for 2 attacks. So this is where, like, if you knew something huge was coming, like one big smack, you could put up the shield block, kind of negate a big chunk of that. So, but yeah, so shield block is back on the bar, thank goodness, and also a new skill called counterplay that we'll get into here shortly. Very excited about this. Very excited about these banners moving off my bar. So now we have a place for 3 different banners. So we still only can use one at a time, though. So that kind of stinks. But now I feel for the first time ever that my limited action bar is actually limited. So I'm feeling what the game is actually supposed to be giving me, rather than just literally having everything except for shield block because I had all these banners that I wanted up. And really, I only had 2 banners that I wanted up. I just flipped back and forth between the 2. There were others that I wanted up, but couldn't use them because it wasn't any room, while I still had 2 empty slots on my action bar. So now that we've moved everything out and spread everything out and got new abilities, everything's full now. For the first time ever in Warrior history, everything on my bar is full, which is absolutely awesome. The banners are cool. I'm glad that we can do this now. This is literally my only complaint about the Warrior, and it's so minimal because I'm so happy about all these new things that I've got to play with, is that I really do wish we could use 2 banners. If there was one group banner and one self banner, I think that would be such a good play. And if that's with the mastery system, or if that's just something that they still need to work in, it would be really great, because I would really like to have something that buffs my group, but also have the ability to either up my personal blocking and parrying or my taunting. I would love to have that taunt banner up all the time, because honestly, I'd really like to just take taunt off my bar. I would love more than anything. And I tried to with all these skills, because there is some new stuff that does taunting, but I would love to just have this taunt banner up and never have to push the taunt button again.
The old reliable taunt is just too good. It's just too good.
Well, you're not wrong, because it forces the mob for 3 seconds. So it does have a place, and it generates threat and does that force of moving the mob to me. But honestly, I smack the thing enough that if I had the banner just up all the time, I don't think we would ever have a problem. The only reason to have a taunt would be like if I pulled multiples, which is a thing still. I do. And so that's why taunt is still on the bar. But let's talk about some of these other skills, and some of them are going to have threat stuff in it with it as well. So I'm really excited for that. Oh, I forgot to mention this also. This was already added in the game, but the duration of banners is 5 minutes now rather than 45 seconds, which is great. The problem is that I'm still used to them being 45 seconds. So I continuously plant banners that I don't have to plant and use battle points for it. I just need to get used to it. But this is a good change overall. Also, VR, if you could, I'd love a counter on these bars, like some sort of timer that tells me where we're at in the 5-minute session, so that if I'm running back after a pull and I need to place another banner, I don't have to like look for it or wait for the mob to get next to me so I can look at its debuffs that are on it and then realize my banner's down while I'm trying to taunt and keep the healer and the group alive while trying to see if my banner's still up. So it'd be nice if there was a timer that I could look at. So if you can make that happen, that'd be really great.
You want a counter? I mean, you're asking for the moon and the stars here. What the heck?
Don't all the other buffs have timers to them? We can see exactly how many minutes are left on all these buffs. Why can't you just put a 5-minute timer on my banner?
I don't know. It seems like a lot.
Oh, whatever. That's mean, Draq. That's really mean. Anyway, so the first skill that was updated was this pound, pulverize, blah, 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 blah. All these weird skills that all had different tooltips that I guess that I didn't know did the same thing. So like each one of these things, this pound, pulverize, and whatever the third one, I didn't even care to write it down because I hate it so much. They all had like different things that they did. They weren't this disempower at 40% or less health. Now they've shorn it all up. So now all these skills have turned into pulverize 1, 2, and 3. They all do disempower at 40% or less health. You have to click the button at 40%. So that's one of these skills that has been gelled together and now is at 40%. Another skill that has gelled together is Smash and Shatter, which is great. This is where it stuns the target at less than 20% health. I thought it also did a debuff too. Maybe that's the tooltips being wrong again, but every time I use it, I don't see a debuff that goes on it. So it must be the stun. The problem with these like disempowers and these stuns is that the mob either I'm missing or the mob is just resisting it like all the time, because I never see this stuff go up, which is kind of crazy. So I don't know what to take about that. But if the stun, I have not really seen the stun work, but I don't also know if it goes on top of pulverize. So I think if I have pulverize on, the Smash and Shatter won't work, or any of these other ones that we're going to go through. I don't think they work. I think I can only have one debuff on them at a time. Now, I don't have 100% proof of this, but I have never seen a debuff in this fashion. I've never seen 2 up at the same time. I've only ever seen one of my debuffs up at one time, not including my banner, obviously.
I feel for you here because I freaking hate it when my 1 minute cooldown interrupt that only works on spells is resisted. Like,
yeah, it's rough.
What the heck? It's so annoying. I'm like, wait, I keep this thing on my bar and there's only a very limited window of things it actually does. And when I actually want to use it, it doesn't work. It's really frustrating.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So hopefully it's just, I don't know how the system exactly works and they're all working, but to me, it just doesn't look like I said, either I'm getting resisted all the time or they just don't gel together, which means that maybe I need to think about switching something off my hotbar for something else. Now, that being said, they did make an improvement with a new skill called Shield Prowess, which takes both of those cooldowns, the pulverize and the smash, and reduces them by 2 seconds every time I make a successful block, which I'll be honest with you is all the time. So before this update, though, that pound and the smash, the 30-second countdown was miserable. You couldn't use them both at the same time. Like you would hit one, the pound would hit 30 seconds and the smash would then automatically go to a 15-second countdown, and I couldn't use that for 15 seconds. So really the mob would die before I could even use the other one. So I had to make a choice. This way, at least I can use both, because the countdown, even though they both hit 30, with this successful block thing, it makes it come back up pretty quickly. Like I would say more like 10 seconds now, and it's back up again. Just depends on how many hits you're taking. Obviously, if the mob's turned around and you're not taking any hits, then the full 30 seconds has to count down, and that sucks. But if you do it, where it's around 40% health and it's still hitting you, you're going to be able to get a shatter off by the time it turns around and starts to run away. Yeah, so great job with shield prowess. Shield prowess, by the way, is a new effect that is just up all the time. It doesn't need to be on your hotbar. It doesn't need to be on your utility bar. It's just an ability that the warrior has at all times. So that's the best kind of stuff. Moving on to new moves and abilities. Newest one that I want to talk about, and the one I love the most, is called Punish. And this, you have to have a shield in your hand. So if you haven't noticed, the shield warrior has gotten a huge bonus. If you remember the Discord posts that we talked about a while ago, or that we talked about on stream, the meta for the warrior was using dual wield, because it would gain its resilience faster and be able to use that to do more actions. And so if you were to carry a shield, you got half as much of that generated back than you did with two weapons or with a two-handed weapon. So using a shield was completely out of the question. Although for whatever reason, I still liked using a shield anyway, just because I like the extra skills. Now with this shield prowess, that also brings back your resilience faster. So it just makes up for you not having that second weapon in your hand, which is awesome. So now I get to use my abilities all the time, and I get to use my techniques all the time, and still have that extra shield protection, which I love as the warrior. So this ability, this new one of the new ones that I love the most, is called Punish. This deals physical damage with your shield and gives you a battle point and increases your threat. However, it has to follow a successful block. So it's not up all the time. This is one of those skills that kind of grays out if you aren't using it, or if it's not able to be used. So you have to have a successful block. It will then pop up and say it's usable, and you just click it, and it gives you a battle point, increases your threat, and it's wonderful. So this is one of the new things that I was willing to give up taunt for. The problem is that you have to have a successful block, so it's not always at the ready. You do have to wait for that successful block. So this is a great one. Next one I really like is Hammering Blow. This is another one of these kind of like smash and pulverize, where if the target is below 25% health, then you get a skill called Upper Hand. And what that does, it reduces the physical damage to me by 15% for 10 seconds. Really great for if you're tanking multiple mobs. Pretty darn terrible for when you're single pulling. So if you've got an enchanter in your group, maybe Hammering Blow isn't the best thing on your toolbar unless there's really nothing else you can use. But if you're tanking multiple mobs, then this is exactly what you want on your bar to get that upper hand after 25%. Love this one. Well, we also got a new banner Draq, which is great. This one does a little bit of spell mitigation and physical damage by 10%. So it's a nice little ward if you don't feel like your healer is doing a very good job. Wink, wink, Vendini, looking right at you. We'll be having this banner up all the time. Just kidding. I always have either the one that gives us a plus to hit if we're fighting something that's orange, and we need a little bit of extra help to be able to even hit the thing. Or I also have the banner that just completely destroys it, adds our damage to everybody, especially now that the meta is fighting blues and light blues. This is the best banner. It increases our damage, and now that we damage everything because we're fighting blues instead of reds, this is by far the meta banner. At least if you're fighting blues and light blues, which you should be. So this one's good though. If you don't trust your healer, it puts a little bit more control in your hands. Great for pugs. Moving on from there, they gave us a cleave, which is nice, but with all these shield buffs, who's using a two-hander at this point? Like nobody. But is nice to have some AoE if you don't have an enchanter in your group and you need to be able to generate threat to multiple mobs. This is the way to go. But again, if I'm tanking multiple mobs, I'm probably not using a two-hander to do that. So this is more if you don't have an enchanter and you're the secondary tank. Kind of gives you a little bit of something else to do, but honestly, probably never going to be on a warrior's bar, but is nice to have. I'm not saying I don't want it, because I definitely do want it, because I do find myself in a situation from time to time where I am the second tank and I can just put on a two-hander and start cleaving things, which would be awesome.
You know what this makes me think of? This
What?
makes me think of those old EverQuest groups with a point blank area of effect, just mowing stuff down,
Yep.
right? And wizards don't have, well, they just added a spell that's AoE. So we got our very first, but it's not point blank area of effect. It's just area of effect. But like once those, I guarantee you those spells are coming. And
Oh yeah.
once those spells get into the game, then you could load up like, okay, well, we're going to try to mow down maybe 2 or 3 mobs at the same time, especially since now blues and teals are the preferred method, right?
Yep.
So you get 2 or 3 blue to teal mobs, you get them in the circle, and everybody just AoEs at the same time and mows them down.
So now, instead of just like because that used to be like a group of casters, right? Now it can have warriors in it. Warriors and wizards. 3 warriors, 3 wizards. Go. No healers. We
War
don't
wizard,
need
war wizard, let's go.
it. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Future state, maybe not at the moment, because we'll talk about your fireball in a little bit and how it's not really working with others. Could be if you had a couple fireballs, a couple cleaves, it could be a lot of fun. Next, counterplay, which is a new ability. It is basically a self-damage shield, but this also says in the tooltip that it needs to have a successful block. But this doesn't gray out ever. So I feel like there's some sort of bug with this one, because you can just push the button and it goes into the counterplay. But it basically just does a little damage to the mob that's hitting you. So it's kind of like a self-only damage shield, which is great. What should be the second best addition, and I know Draq likes this one, is shield throw. Do I want to be Captain America? You're damn right.
Yeah, you do. Yeah,
Yeah.
you do. You want to be Captain America.
Of
Throw
course
that
I do.
shield, and it
Yeah.
comes back. It's like a boomerang shield.
It is. It comes back in 3 seconds. And the best part is that it stuns the mob for it knocks him down. And it's way more than 3 seconds. I always have my shield back before the mob even starts running. So maybe we need to work on that balance where maybe it's more I don't know, 5 seconds, 6 seconds before I get my shield back.
Can we make it so it hits multiple mobs, like it bounces off 2 or 3 mobs, like boom, 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 and then comes back to you? Because that would be even more fantastic.
I completely agree. However,
maybe some mastery or something. I think that should definitely be in the mastery.
Oh, write this down, Joppa. Shield throw mastery hits multiple targets.
Listen, you don't have to pay us. You don't need to, pay us anything, but maybe just a little credit.
Yeah.
In the byline would be great.
I'd love that. Absolutely. Thank you to the Rewind for being the greatest podcast about Pantheon of all time. That sounds good. Yeah. Anyway, but Draq, after playing with this the other night, that there is one real drawback to the shield throw, and that is the terrible graphic that it is. It's a ninja star. I know we're filling in, and this is a new ability that we didn't have anything built for yet, but it's a ninja star.
It's the monk pull. They got the little throw ninja star thing too, right? Isn't it the same thing?
But I think theirs is really tiny and looks like a ninja star, whereas mine looks like one of those ninja stars that the characters in Naruto carry on their back.
You're giving them the full Hadouken. That's what you're doing.
Right.
Basically, they just took the monk ninja star and they had the little
blew
slider.
it up.
And they just moved it all the way to the right. They're like,
Yep. That is literally what it is, and it looks terrible. So I can't remember who's the one that's doing all these graphic things. This is the first thing that needs to be on your list, is making sure this shield throw looks like a shield. It'd be honestly just program my actual shield, whatever shield I'm holding, the graphic needs to go with it. Is that too much to
would
ask?
that not be completely just awesome and baller? If it threw your specific shield, that would be crazy.
I don't know
good.
why it wouldn't. I don't know. There has to be some way to program that, right? Like it's just taking a specific graphic that's already in the game and following it to the mob, and then it disappears. Like you don't even have to bring it back. The ninja star doesn't look like it comes back to me. My shield just reappears on my arm when it comes back. Now it'd be cool if it Captain America the whole way, there and back. But you know, I'm trying to be nice, right? But yeah, it
We're
definitely
not
should
holding
have.
our breath for that.
Yeah, exactly. But if it could be the actual shield that I am carrying and that graphic goes and hits the mob and knocks them on their ass, that would be stellar. I'd love every second of that. That's something you got to work on. That's, put those little spell effects down for a second and make sure the shield throw is my actual shield. Yes. Next on the list, one of the best reasons to play a cleric, or what should have been one of the best reasons to play a cleric in EQ1 was Yaulp. They have given Yaulp to the warrior.
Yeah,
Great.
isn't this pretty sacrilege? Isn't Yaulp
Kinda.
always been paladin?
It's cleric. It's cleric.
Yeah, but
I guess they had a lesser Yaulp. Yeah, you're right, because they were
Yaulp.
Yeah, but not as good as the cleric Yaulp, right? But they gave it to the warrior in Pantheon, which is great. And it's a little different. So what this is actually an AoE taunt. Snares 4 enemies, 10 seconds long. So kind of a perfect thing when they're running away. Although I have used it as mobs were running away to see the snare, and it doesn't look like it's really doing it. So if it is a snare, if it does have a snare on it, it's not really the best usage of your 2-minute cooldown taunt when the mob is running away just to try to snare it. So let the other classes with the snare do it, or the smash that it does the stun within the 20% health with 20% health left.
Can you imagine? So if they put a necro AoE fear in, and then you combine that with this, wouldn't that be fun?
If the snare was actually noticeable and usable, that would absolutely be awesome. Little exploit. That's not an exploit, it's in the game and skills. We can use it.
Emergent gameplay. Emergent gameplay.
Exactly. Whatever you want to call it, Draq. That's totally fine with me. All right. So great skill. Very excited to have Yaulp. 4 enemies is awesome. I like another taunt on my bar. This was another reason why I was willing to take taunt off my bar. And last but not least, shield mastery, which is an addition to shield prowess that we got at like level 10 or 15. You get a couple increments of it, but at 30 we get the shield mastery, which the shield prowess lessens, like I was saying, it lessens the smash and pound reuse time. The shield mastery does the same for the Yaulp. So I would be able to use that a lot faster as long as I was taking damage. So a perfect play. Like I cannot wait to hit 30. I am a level and a bub away from hitting 30. And I can't wait to use this shield mastery because it's going to make Yaulp so unbelievably good and potent. On top of that, Draq, wait, there's more. It also takes both the smash and pound skills, which already have that 2 seconds cooldown, and adds another 2 seconds on top of it. So every time you get blocked, it reduces those by 4 seconds with the shield mastery because it stacks. So I am very, very happy where the warrior is progressing. All you warriors out there, I hope you're having a blast because we got such a huge chunk to our toolkit put in. I am very satisfied. Thank you, Joppa, for getting to the warrior as quickly as you did. Not that quickly, but I still appreciate that you gave warrior the first love because it needed the most. The Pally and the Dire Lord, yeah, they still need a lot of help, but they were not as in nearly as bad shape as the warrior was, and I'm glad you hit him first. The warrior absolutely deserved it because it's been left off for so long. But speaking of things that are still left off the bar, we have my 2 least favorite things. The first one we've had for a while. It's a move called Storm or Close the Gap. That's kind of like its upgraded version of it, where we rush to the enemy and it hits a stun. Now, I use this skill on my Paladin in EQ2 when we're doing dungeon crawls when we're moving from enemy to enemy, and I rush into the enemy, stun it, and start smacking it while everyone is still running in place. I'm generating threat while everyone is gaining position. I've just gained, a ton of this threat while everyone is still catching up to me. Great skill in a dungeon crawl. But if we're pulling and we're bringing stuff back to a camp, this is not great. I'm not a huge fan of this. I've actually now that I have new abilities, it is no longer on my ability bar at all. So Storm, close the gap, goodbye. You have been replaced by shield moves, and I hope to never see this again. What would be great is if I could have that pull skill that the Pally and the Dire Lord have. I love pulling the mob back to me. If I lose aggro, I want to pull that enemy right back to me, slap a taunt in it, and keep it with me. That's such a great way to keep your group alive. Also, super great for pulling. Like the pull skill has so many great uses. I need that skill back. It's the only reason that makes me want to play a paladin over a warrior. But with all these updates, and if we got banners, the Pally update better be real good, because the warrior's looking fantastic at the moment.
Looking real good. One of the worst things, because Pantheon is more of an EverQuest game where it's more camping rather than crawling. Whereas WoW was definitely, you crawled everything, right? Every single thing that it was 100% crawl.
Yep.
But one of the worst things you could do in a camping game is stun the mob away from your group. Because then it sits there and it's aggroing you, and then other mobs could wander into its radius, and now you're getting more than you bargained for. So yeah, it's not great. Stunning the mob not near your group is almost always bad.
And on top of that, it takes me out of my banner range, right? Like, why would I want to run away from the class specific thing that the warrior has? Like, I'm running out of my banner range. Even with the increased range that we got with them this patch, it's still moving me out of my banner.
And it has a stun effect with it, right?
Yeah.
And so I've seen warriors in groups that try to run away from the mob to stun it, and so they run away from the mob as we're fighting the mob, and then they get far enough away, and then they use that to run back to stun it. It's just really awkward, and like I just don't think it's maybe the most useful or well thought out. Or maybe there's future plans for it to work in some kind of other scheme that's not currently present in the game.
Or just replace it with that pole, and I'd be very, very happy.
Listen, you gotta leave the paladins something. Leave the poor paladins a little meat on the bone somewhere. Jeez.
Sorry. Fine. The last thing I wanted to mention was that is not on my bar is the unyielding formation. It grants immunity to loss of control effects and reduces armor class. The damage done that is reduced by armor class by 20. It's kind of a weird way. Just read the tooltip. It's just worded weird, but it makes sense. It's the damage done that is damaged through armor class. It's kind of weird. But we have a banner for this. We have a rallying banner, which helps reduce those control effects. So I'd much rather have that. If I was in a situation where things were charming us or anything like that, or mezzing us, I'd rather just have that banner up and be able to flip to that banner real quick, as opposed to having this unyielding formation that is really quite detrimental to us. 20%, that's a lot. Anyway, all right. That's all I got, Draq. That's the whole warrior. I've gone for an entire half hour on the warrior. How about you?
Theric, like where did Theric come from? How did he get back to the rewind? And where has he been all this time? Because I thought Theric was gone and I was dealing with Dymlos, but apparently not.
Listen, I'm just excited about the warrior finally getting something. I'm so happy. As someone who loves to play the tank now, the warrior's supposed to be the be all end all tank, right? Everyone else is just a hybrid version. That's not true. The paladin and Dire are their own. They're just a little different, right? When you think of like Dungeons and Dragons, you think of fighter. If you want to be a tank, be the fighter. This is it should be the best. Should be.
You're the best around.
Nothing's gonna ever keep me down.
All right, well, I got some updates for the Wizards, but now my updates seem super lame because...
Well, we should have put yours first. You're the one that said warrior go first. Okay.
I didn't realize this was going to be like, a college course, a 201 class. You can't even take it unless it's in your major type of deal. Like, we're reducing the armor class of the damage done by the damage done.
Yeah,
like,
that's ridiculous.
I don't even know about all that.
Who is writing these tooltips?
I'm picturing you. I'm picturing you at a marker board, and you're crossing things out and carrying numbers, and I don't know what else is going on.
I'm glad. That's how people should be thinking of me. I am your warrior tutor.
All right. Well, let's get to the basic wizard class, okay?
The normal boring wizard, you mean?
The normal boring. So we've gone from calculus to like 9th grade basic math. Okay.
Intro to pre-algebra.
Intro to pre-algebra. Yes, that is where I live. I'm all about some intro to pre-algebra. So basically, there's two things that happened to the wizard. One, we added stats back into the equation. You know, that 32 intelligence that I have just like worked so hard to get all this amazing gear and get my intelligence up to 32. It is now makes a difference. And I actually see the difference. All my spells went up like at least 20% damage because I just have a really high amount of intelligence, which affects all my skills. So yeah, it's just massive. And then secondary, we were added the Dragonfire. Secondarily, we were added the Dragonfire skill. Just like you, at level 30, we get a huge skill called Dragonfire. It's the slow rolling fireball. And for those of you that don't know, what 6 years ago, there was this bug in Pantheon where the regular fireball spell, it was just super slow moving. And it took like 30 seconds to get to the mob. But when it landed, it was instant kill. And it was a bug. It wasn't supposed to be that way, but that's what it ended up being. And so this Dragonfire skill is kind of the shout out to the bug that happened in pre-alpha. A kind of a, laugh out loud if you know type of deal. And so because you listen to the rewind, you have been so informed.
Pre-algebra.
Now, the other thing was when they launched the skill for I think it was about a 4 to 6 hour period, the AoE part of this skill was actually damaging and killing other players in the game on non-PvP servers.
That's so hilarious.
Yes, and so you were killing your group mates. Savanya had to hop on the Discord and said, please don't be a jerk. Please don't randomly go kill people at the bank. Blah, blah, blah. Don't be a Pantheon jerk. But luckily there was a big duping thing, so they pulled down the servers anyway. And when they came back up, all this was fixed. So I didn't even get to try it because I, like you, am about a bub and 1 level away from 30. I haven't even used the skill yet. I can't wait. I'm excited to level again because I got something to level 4. And that makes the game more exciting.
Yes, it does. Back to Pantheon, baby. Sorry, Mines of Moria. You were great, but your servers that we paid for sucked. That's not your fault, Mines of Moria. It is kind of because it's the ones you... It is kind
of your fault.
Yeah.
Because it's their custom servers that did it to us.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Be better, Mines of Moria.
Be better. Well, that's not the only thing happened. I did mention it a little bit. There was a bunch of duping exploits that happened. So much so that they had to roll back the servers. And then, apparently, according to Discord, they banned a bunch of people. And on Discord, also, I saw a bunch of people upset about it. They came on and they said, well, it wasn't me, but I got banned and blah, 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 blah. And it wasn't my fault.
It wasn't me.
I was mistaken for banning. I didn't actually do it. And so
I was hacked and someone got into my Pantheon account and did all this duping while I wasn't there.
My sister logged onto my account and
someone hacked into my Twitter. It was not me that wrote all those tweets out.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. If I was banned due to a hack that I didn't do, the last thing I would do is post on the official Discord for everyone to see.
Correct.
The only thing that I would do is message Savanya and or create a customer support ticket. Because if you're innocent, then you don't have to plead for the community to fix this problem. Okay? Like, you don't have to
Unbelievable.
put it out there that like, oh, I'm so innocent and I can't believe the injustice of the
Woe is me.
Woe-
How dare you, Savanya, for banning my account? I know it was you.
Exactly.
You targeted me specifically.
Just know that neither Dymlos and I believe any of your posts. We don't believe
Not
any
a
of you.
one.
Not
Not a
one.
one.
And personally, I think that they should write it into the user agreement that if you post that you got banned and that you're innocent, if you publicly post that, I think that VR should have the right to publicly post the information about how and where you were duping and why that went down.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
I think that should be fair game.
That would bring people to the Discord. Would talk about just people wanting that sweet, juicy, what the kids are calling tea. I just want to hear that gossip. That's the good. Right? Oh, I love it.
I'm in for every one of those posts, and I think that we should make this happen. I'm not sure if it's legal, but we definitely should make this happen.
Oh, that's so good. We
Because
definitely need to bring that up to Savanya.
I already did, because we had a little message, and I was like, "Hey, you could just put them on Front Street," and she's like, "Unfortunately, I want to so badly, but we can't do that."
Oh, that'd be so good. Oh, that's such a good idea, Draq. Good on you.
I mean, we're just, all the good ideas are on the rewind. Free of charge VR. We're not charging. Yeah.
Oh, I really want that shield throw to hit multiple enemies. That's so good. It's so good.
Well, the other little fun thing from the patch was gathering sparkles. Everywhere you go, there's little sparkles on the ground for you.
Okay. So I don't know about you. This was seeing these harvestable nodes a problem for you?
I mean, I did some gathering the other day because I got some higher tier food, but I needed to pair it with some lower tier food.
Sure.
So I went back to our old run, the castle, right by.
Love the castle.
So I'm at the castle, I'm running around, and I'm looking around, and all of a sudden, like, I see sparkle, and like, I probably would have seen it if I would have ran up to it, but it is kind of fun, like, far away to see the sparkle and be like, oh, there's something over there.
It'd be nice at night. For sure, it'd be nice at night. But I don't think I missed anything during the day. Everything was always very noticeable. And, as we were playing the other day, like going and seeing snow lilies and Hangor, these are pretty obvious. Like they already kind of glow, and now they've got sparklies around them too. Like, I'm not missing any of these things.
The other thing I was thinking is, there's not a lot of ground clutter right now.
Yeah.
And so maybe they're planning on bringing back some more ground clutter, like just some.
Not that my computer could handle the ground clutter, but
I mean,
okay,
whatever,
great.
right? Your tin can sandwich over there probably needs an upgrade, but your Voodoo 2 isn't cutting it anymore.
Just waiting for all the Patreons to buy me a new computer.
Yeah, just subscribing to my channel. But maybe that's part of it too, like, because the precursor to adding more ground clutter is you have to make the harvesting nodes seen.
Yeah, that's a good point. I just don't think it is a real issue at the moment. So I do like your idea of them just planning for the future, which is great. I know that some of those flowers, especially like in Throne Fast, like that special Throne Fast flower that they made, can get a little big, especially when you're on full ground graphics and stuff. It can get a little grassy, if you will. And so it'd be nice to have those sparklies around.
Yeah.
But especially at night. For sure at night, they're great. Make it that much easier. Now, the one thing I will mention is that the sparklies also distract you from maybe looking around and seeing a mob. Like, remember when we were going towards those snow lilies and like,
Absolutely.
Oh, look, there's some snow lilies. I was like, well, Draq, look over there.
Yeah.
Stop looking at the little sparklies and look at that orc over there.
That might have got me killed at the end of the
for
night.
sure.
That might have been my death because I was not paying attention.
Ooh, snow lilies. Let's
where the
go.
heck I was going, and then all of a sudden I'm laying on the ground dead because
Sparkle, sparkle, sparkle.
From the SGL Action News Desk, This is MMO News, featuring your anchors, Draq and Dymlos.
All right, Dymlos, we have a friend. And that friend's name
I don't know if I call him a
is-
friend.
He's a friend. We have to accept that.
All right, he is
It's
a friend.
fine.
I don't know if he'd call us friends, but
Probably not. But
he is our friend.
He is our friend. And his name is Mr. Coddleshire.
I love
And
that guy.
This guy totally saw this coming. I had no idea about this game. And he has been just raving about it. And he wanted to try it. And he has been all over it. He's been streaming it. And it's just crazy to me. Aaron Shore. It's a single player MMORPG. It uses artificial intelligence to run the characters in your group and creates personalities for them. They have like looting preferences and they have like combat preferences and all this crazy stuff. And they
talk to you.
They talk to you. They act in
crazy.
the game. Yeah. And it's not just the people in your group. Like it's not just an RPG where you get your 4 people and you go. Like there's all kinds of different AI generated characters that are running around this game doing stuff as you're doing your thing. So it really feels like an MMO, or at least to me while I'm watching Mr. Coddleshire stream it, it feels like an MMO as he's playing it, but he's just playing it by himself as AI fills in the rest of the world.
So good.
I have said that this is amazing, and this is just one dev, one guy harnessing the power of AI, doing his thing.
Burgie Media Studio.
Yes. And it's his first go at this, right? Like he hasn't done anything else? I don't
think so.
Yeah, I've never heard of it before. Anyway, he's sold over 10,000 copies on Steam of Aaron
That's so
Shore.
crazy. That's so crazy.
10,000 copies. I can't wrap my mind around this whole thing other than to say I think this is the future of MMOs. Not necessarily single player by itself, but infusing AI into MMORPGs makes the most sense of anything that I can possibly wrap my brain around, because there's so many things that are happening in an MMO and you want your world to feel alive. And that's what AI does, is it makes things feel alive. It adds things in that you think should be there according to your preferences and your past actions. And so it studies it and then it tries to fill in what it thinks you want. What is more perfect for an MMO than that?
I do not know. You're right though. AI is absolutely the future. Any MMO that comes out at this point really needs to have their NPCs have some sort of AI to them and make a world. Stop putting these like one sentence characters into a thing and let people have conversations with all these people, and they have personalities, and this is amazing.
And backstories and conversations. Why can't I talk with the lady at town for like 4 hours, right?
Yeah.
And have a totally different conversation, right? Like what's stopping me from that from happening?
Honestly, Draq, this is what's going to happen to us when we're old and in the retirement home. We're just going to be playing these types of games and ignoring everything else because time has forgotten us.
You and me and Mrs. Draq in the retirement home with the T1?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Just playing Aaron Shore or whatever the newest single player MMO is, or honestly any MMO that has AI. This is just where old people are going to go die. It's the new Florida, right? Forget who needs great temperatures and the ocean when I can just strap on some VR goggles and go have a conversation with an artificial intelligent creature thing in my game and spend 3 hours of my day because I've got nothing better to do. It's like when old people call up the bank to talk. Well, how's the weather over there? You know, stupid shit like that. They'll just be able to do that with AI. That's what we are going to be doing with AI while someone changes our diaper for us.
5,
Draq, I'm so disappointed in you.
4,
Luckily, every week I dominate this list and just destroy Dymlos.
3,
I thought you would just tuck your head between,
No
your butt
way!
cheeks.
No, my list is
And
amazing.
It's not at all.
2,
Already your list is the worst. Your list is the worst.
1.
Top five, top five, top five. Man, I'm sure glad that Nathan was here last week to witness my domination over you, my meteoric rise, my 2025 of undefeated, I am the champion reign.
Like your list last week, you are delusional. You're making shit up, just like your emojis, just like your card games. No one thinks that you have a good list. You are in your own little private world where you just think you're the best and your list is actually terrible. And I've got a good feeling about this week too.
Luckily for me, I am a salad dressing connoisseur.
There's no way.
I was so excited when you picked this list because I love salad dressings. I love salad dressings on salads. I love salad dressings as dressings. I am all about dip life. My
Hashtag dip life.
Dip life. My youngest daughter, to my absolute shame, she doesn't like to dip anything in anything or put salad dressing or any kind of dressing on anything.
And you haven't sold that child yet?
I know, right?
That's the first one to go.
I look at my wife and I'm like, are you sure this is mine? Like, what the heck? I'm questioning our marriage vows over this. Like,
this is the mailman's child, isn't it?
She doesn't like salad dressing. What happened?
I know I passed on the salad dressing gene.
I know. What is going on? I just don't understand. But
oh, that's great.
But this was an amazing choice by you. I know that Dwimble gave us a hard time. And I'm just like, what are you talking about? Salad dressings is an amazing top five.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
It gives flavor to one of the worst things on the planet, which is salad.
Yeah, salads. You just got to cover up that salad with something else.
Exactly.
Some yumminess.
All right, Draq. Let's stop the yap and let's get the list going. Hit me with your number 5.
My number 5 is, of course, jalapeno ranch dressing. Nothing says amazing like ranch dressing with a little zip, a little hotness, a little zippiness. I love some jalapeno ranch dressing.
Really? Jalapeno ranch?
Jalapeno ranch. Rock solid.
I just don't ever, I never thought you would eat that. Do you even like jalapenos?
No, I'm not. The reason I like the jalapeno ranch is because it's not too hot, right? It's not like,
well, sure, the
blazing,
the cream
fire
is the base that
I just
gets
like
rid of the acid.
The hint of the jalapeno, in the ranch. That's what I like about it. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
All right. What about your number 5? Do you have a hint of anything in that?
A hint of it's a me, Mario, because number 5 is Italian dressing. I kind of love all dressings. There's not really a bad dressing out there that I wouldn't eat. So I'm just not super picky when it comes to dressings, but I certainly do have an order and love oil-based dressings, and Italian is like the most common oil base. So I really enjoy Italian because I eat it all the time because it's readily available all the time. So oil base, thumbs up. Italian, thumbs up. It's also really great when you cook with Italian dressing too. Like if you want to put it on, especially like chicken or pork, really great dressing to put on either of those meats. If you are a lazy bachelor and don't want to like put spices together, you can just use Italian dressing and cook with it. It's wonderful.
I mean, I can't fault you here. Italian dressing didn't make my list, but I do love a good Italian dressing because I live in your world where like I love pretty much every salad dressing minus a few, and we'll get into that.
Okay, that sounds good. I can't wait to get into it. Let's dive right in. What's your number 4?
My number 4 is, of course, Southwest ranch dressing.
Of course.
Now, I know.
Of course it is. What else could it be?
I know you're thinking to yourself, you're like, isn't that eerily similar to jalapeno ranch dressing? And no, it is not. Because it has it's got a couple of different ingredients, but the main ingredient that is the chef's kiss is the smoked paprika that comes through in the Southwest ranch dressing, and that is it's so good, and I love it for salads. I love it for dipping. I mean, one of my favorite, Costco's got these to go salads, right? Where it's got the salad dressing, it's got a little plastic fork that's got all the stuff in it. My favorite one is the Southwestern little to go salad, and it's got Southwest ranch in it, and it is just
It's got corn in it.
Yes, that's the one. That's the one. Yep.
I've never been to a Costco. I have no idea what you're talking about, but I definitely know me a Southwest ranch dressing salad.
It's good. Absolutely.
This is also one of our favorite dips, if you remember, like this Southwest flavoring.
Oh yeah. 100%. Real good.
Yep. So this is a good choice on your part. It's not much different than the jalapeno one, but that's fine.
Totally different.
Fine. Yeah,
For the educated.
Listen, I love paprika. I love a smoked paprika. Oh, especially on deviled eggs.
Oh yeah.
Did you have deviled eggs for Easter, by the way?
No. Deviled eggs is only Thanksgiving. I don't even. What kind of sacrilege would you have deviled eggs for
the Easter Bunny delivers eggs. Why would you not have deviled eggs on? Oh my God.
No.
I couldn't remember what this back in November when we had this conversation. I couldn't remember when you had deviled eggs, but you should be eating deviled eggs at every holiday.
No.
Okay, great.
Deviled eggs, Thanksgiving only. Sorry.
Okay.
All right, but what about your number 4? Is that something you only have at Easter?
No, this is something when I go to a Japanese sushi restaurant. I love sesame ginger, and this is only recent because I've only been eating sushi for the last maybe 10 years of my life. I thought raw fish would be gross. It turns out it's not, and it's super delicious, and I just needed to develop a palate for it. But if you order some sort of sushi meal, you get a salad with it, and they always have some sort of sesame ginger dressing with it, and it is super delicious. With ginger being the palate cleanser that you eat during the sushi, like if you're really traditionally eating sushi, you're supposed to cleanse your palate every time you eat a couple rolls of the same sushi, and when you're ready to switch to the next roll, you cleanse your palate with ginger. So ginger is kind of like a big theme in the sushi eating world, and so they just put a little sesame in it with it as well and made it into a salad dressing, which is super delicious. Sesame ginger, number 4. Do you like sushi, Draq?
No.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know I didn't like sushi. Come on now.
So in Nebraska, we have something called the Husker roll that you might like. It's instead of raw fish, it's beef.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you ever get out here again, we'll head up to the
definitely
sushi
have
place.
To do that. No, I'm not a fan of the sesame ginger. I think I consider a palate cleanser to me means whatever you had before sucked. Like that's what that means. Like I don't want to taste that anymore because I want to move on to the next thing. Like when I sit down,
this is why you're an uncultured swine.
I'm sure it is, but I like all my meal to go together. Like I want to start with the prime rib, and I want to move to the mashed
Just let me get that KFC bowl every time. I'll mix up my mashed potatoes, corn, and chicken all together.
I want to be tasting my prime rib with my mashed potatoes. I don't want to cleanse the prime rib. Okay, like no. But I'm just uncultured swine, apparently. Whatever.
You definitely are. So let's see how your uncultured continues to go. What's your number 3?
This is the creme de la creme. This is like the top shelf stuff that only the really, really good salad dressing people know about, and that is Lighthouse. And of course, the flavor is homestyle ranch. So, and you can't. You get this in the grocery store, and it's in the vegetable section. That's how you know it's super healthy for you because it's right next to the raw vegetables, and so it's really, really good. I love Lighthouse ranch dressing, and I love the homestyle ranch. Really good.
I don't know if I know that. Is this a brand? Lighthouse is a brand?
Yeah, Lighthouse is a brand. Absolutely.
Okay. I don't know if I have seen this or had this before. I'll have to be on the lookout for it next time.
You are missing out, sir, because it is amazing.
I mean, when you got Newman's Own ranch dressing.
Yeah. Let me tell you where that's at the grocery store. It's not in the healthy section.
Oh, I couldn't even make it through that one. Well, this is health. The health, quote unquote, health section is not full of healthy things. It's full of things that don't have things in it that make people sick. It's not healthy.
Whatever.
That's like, oh,
I'm just saying
great.
it is the up top shelf salad dressing.
Oh, okay. It's gluten free, is what it is.
No, it's not gluten free.
Oh, okay.
Well, speaking of top shelf, what's your number 3 salad dressing?
Number 3, Thousand Island. And the reason that this is on here is because that is the main ingredient in mac sauce. Don't get me wrong. I love it on a salad too, but I love me the mac sauce on literally everything I order at McDonald's, from the quarter pounder with cheese to the McChicken to the fish fillet, only on Lent Fridays, and on newly discovered on the McRib. Next time you folks have a McRib,
Wait, you put mac sauce
it's
on
so
McRib?
good.
Oh my
It's so
God.
unbelievably good.
Are you just want to die just like you're eating?
Yes.
Right in
Why am
while
I eating McDonald's if I didn't want to die?
I meant like in that moment, like you're just.
Oh
gonna-
yeah, no,
Okay.
totally, absolutely.
Alright.
No, I will tell you this: it is the sloppiest sandwich I've ever eaten in my life. It's just that barbecue and that Thousand Island mac sauce just goes everywhere. But then you've got a little bit of scoop for the fries, and that's great too. So, newly discovered within the last 2 years, putting mac sauce on my McRib. I love it. Anyway, number 3, Thousand Island dressing, still great on a salad too. Just absolutely wonderful dressing.
No, I mean I was gonna completely trash you, but then you brought up the mac sauce, and okay, I'll go with that a little bit.
Wonderful.
Like,
Redeemed by mac sauce. I love it.
I do love a little mac sauce, but
It's so good.
never had it on a McRib. I guess I'll have to try that next time the McRib's back around. But
Make sure you're at a table. Don't eat it while you're driving.
I don't like these sweet orange salad dressings. I'm not a fan of those. So Thousand Island out on regular.
But
salad.
mac sauce in.
Mac sauce in. Yep.
Okay. Well, we'll just agree to disagree there then. So, all right. Well, moving on. So we've got ranch, and ranch. What could number 2 be, Draq? What is your number 2?
Number 2 is the staple of every single person's fridge in America right now, because it is almost the best, but it is definitely the most accessible. And that is, of course, Hidden Valley Ranch, just your classic ranch.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a Hidden Valley Ranch. When you go over to somebody's house and they've got 15 salad dressings in the middle of the table, and you're like, I'm not trying any of those weird things because I don't even know what they are. And then you see the Old Faithful, the old Hidden Valley Ranch.
It's always there.
Yeah,
you never have to worry.
You
It
never
is
have to worry.
always there.
Always there. Absolutely. You just grab it, you pour some on your salad. It tastes the same everywhere you go, all across the United States. It tastes exactly the same. It is rock solid. It is stable, and it is good. You can use it as a dip as well. Not my preferred go-to as a dip, but in a pinch, totally dip worthy.
Oh, I absolutely disagree with you. I think it is absolutely one of the best dips. It makes vegetables so much better. Let's just go ahead and flash up my number 2 because it's also ranch dressing. It's not necessarily Hidden Valley, but you are correct that Hidden Valley is like the bee's knees of
Wait, you
ranch
just pulled a
dressings.
Patreon here? You just went ranch? Just any kind of ranch?
Well, they're all
the different-
kind of the same.
No, they're not. What the heck?
Well, you're ridiculous. Any ranch that is a ranch, like it's ranch is different than jalapeno ranch and Southwest ranch, yes, but your home style ranch and your Hidden Valley ranch are literally the same thing. So
No,
when I
they
say
are
ranch,
not. They
yes, they
taste
are.
completely
No, they
different.
don't.
No, they're
You're-
completely different.
Okay. This is where you think you're right, but you're just this is like a mental block in your head. You're like, it doesn't taste any different, but you think it tastes different because that's what you want to think. Anyway,
Whatever.
ranch dressing, definitely number 2. Hidden Valley especially is a great dip on vegetables. That's the only ranch dressing I want. If I'm dipping celery, tomatoes, carrots, whatever comes in the multi-pack in the store, if there's not Hidden Valley Ranch in that tray, in that little cup that's in the middle, I don't want any part of that other than the celery because it's my favorite vegetable.
And
Anyway.
the tomatoes. I don't want any of the mixed vegetables with the tomato tray either.
I've recently come around to tomatoes, so I do enjoy the ranch and mater combination. Anyway, so we agree on ranch. You have way too much ranch in your life. You really need to check yourself into a mental hospital
Just because I know
Ranch
what's
Anonymous.
awesome. I know it's good. I know it's good.
If we could Google where your nearest Ranch Anonymous meeting is and you could go to that, that'd be great. All right, Drag. Well, let's hear it. What is that number one salad dressing for you?
For my number one salad dressing, we are back to the top shelf salad dressing aisle, which is, of course, the Lighthouse. Now, I know that you just defamed all ranch dressing by saying classic ranch is the same as homestyle ranch. That's completely bogus.
Oh my God.
Because the number one is Lighthouse Classic Ranch. It
Oh.
is better than the homestyle
This
ranch.
is like your crappy ice cream
No, it's
list.
It is
Mint, chocolate, mint.
You need to go to the grocery store tomorrow, and you're gonna have to pay an extra $4 for it. But
I don't have that Patreon money yet.
You need to get some. All right, Patreons, you got to come through. We need an extra Patreon just so Dymlos can afford some Lighthouse Classic Ranch next time he goes to the grocery store. I don't know. Would you pay an extra $4 for your number one, Dymlos?
Well, Drac, as a real Nebraskan, not as a fake
Real
Nebraskan like you are.
hero.
Yeah. If you live in this state for more than 5 minutes, you have to have a number one salad dressing. And every Nebraskan is the same. It is Dorothy Lynch. Dorothy Lynch is the Nebraska style of French dressing. It's our own version of it. We are the only state that has Dorothy Lynch. Maybe some other states maybe import from Nebraska, but the only place that Dorothy Lynch is made is here in my state. And Drac hates it. As soon as I brought this up, I was like, I know what your number one's going to be, and it's going to be Dorothy Lynch, right? And he's like, no, I hate Dorothy Lynch. That's when I knew Drac was no longer a Nebraskan. Get out of my state, Drac. You're no longer welcome here. Your parents are ashamed of you.
The funny thing is, my parents are ashamed of me. They're ashamed of me because I've abandoned the Dorothy Lynch.
Oh.
Every time I go back, they try to like push it on me.
They
They're all
should.
Like, hey, have you tried, since you're in your 40s now, maybe you should try Dorothy Lynch again. like I've spent the last 40 years not liking Dorothy Lynch, but maybe there's a chance to redeem myself. Easter Sunday.
Drac, if you could be more like your friend Dymlos, a real Nebraskan, and like Dorothy Lynch.
I'm kind of surprised that they haven't swapped me out for you just based on you like Dorothy Lynch and I don't.
It'd be totally acceptable. In the state of Nebraska, that's totally acceptable.
I mean, it probably would be. I mean, I think all the neighbors would totally understand. I'm sorry. I just don't like Dorothy Lynch. It's too sweet for me. Good. I don't like it. It's not good. Ranch is superior in every way.
No.
I'm sorry.
No, that's definitely not true. Now, I will say that ranch is another very Nebraskan thing because we were the originators of putting ranch on literally everything.
Dude,
the reason that you have ranch
it
is. That's exactly right. We go to pizza places and you have to have ranch to dip your pizza in. If you think your state invented dipping pizza into ranch dressing, you didn't. That was Nebraska first.
Yeah, you be lying to yourself. That's what you be.
If you are dipping anything into ranch dressing other than putting it on your salad, it came from Nebraska. You're all welcome. If you use ranch as a dip for literally anything, come to the Mecca, which is Nebraska, and we are here for you. It is not, you cannot have a buffet. You cannot have a restaurant in Nebraska, anything, unless you've got ranch dressing.
Dude,
we even have places that make their own in-house ranch dressing because Nebraskans love ranch dressing so much.
Dude, you be going to that Nebraska buffet and there's just this big bowl of ranch dressing that just sits in the middle, and then the other little dressings are like in little cups around it. Right?
Yeah. Yep.
There's it's like a soup ladle for the ranch dressing because they already know. You're not just putting this on your little wimpy salad. Like, you're drenching it over everything that's on your plate. Just like, whatever. This is buffet. We're just goosh.
If you've heard us talk about Runza makes their own ranch dressing because Nebraska is ranch dressing. That's what we do. Other than Dorothy Lynch. Dorothy Lynch is your number one, and then ranch is not used for salad. Dorothy Lynch is used for salad. Ranch is used for literally everything else. Literally everything else. That's why it's my number 2.
All right. Well, clearly I've won this week, but maybe
true.
we should get into what the Patreons got for us.
All right. Well, we got 4 of them. So, Draq, if you could play the sound.
Biddly-doo, biddly-doo, biddly-doo.
Let's do this. Here we go. Okay. So, let's start with Screech. We've got Japanese ginger. Now, there is a specific ginger dressing that is not sesame ginger. These are 2 different things, but I have mixed them together into this sesame ginger, which is much better than because they're a separate sesame and separate ginger. And if you mix them together, you make the sesame ginger. It's so good. But ginger dressing, not a huge fan of. I like the sesame on top of it, but ginger just alone, okay, great. Ranch literally says rarely on salad, best consume as a dip.
Yikes.
Clearly,
Triple
Screech
yikes here.
was near Nebraska in his heart. He may not have grown up here or anything like that, but that is absolutely a very Nebraskan statement. So,
But the fact that he put blue cheese above ranch invalidates his entire list.
that's true.
It
That is
just,
very
like,
true.
You've sunk to the bottom.
He does say best used for dip on hot wings. He says otherwise it's kind of bleh. And I love a good blue cheese on my hot wings for sure, which are mild because I'm, a wuss. But
I'm sorry,
super
was
delicious.
this the top 5 dips or the top 5 salad dressing?
You're exactly right. So this is we're throwing it out. So his number 2 is Caesar. Good. Almost made my list. If I had an honorable mention, it'd be Caesar.
Yeah,
I just
Caesar
don't
would
really eat a
definitely
whole lot
make-
of Caesar salads.
It would definitely make an honorable mention. Caesar,
Yeah.
A solid Caesar is good.
And then last but not least, balsamic vinaigrette, which is it took me a while to get this taste into my palate, but it is there now and I do love it. The sweetness and the oilness of it all is super, super good, especially with like some either feta cheese or something along the lines of that. It makes it real good. Goat cheese. It's another good one with balsamic.
No thanks.
I figured. Mr.
I mean,
Ranch,
why don't
Ranch.
you put some of that balsamic vinegar on your kale, and then you can snarf that right down.
I would. I would do that.
Finger up when you eat it. It's gonna be great.
Your pinky's up. Okay. Moving on to Zip. He has number 5 is French/Western. Those are 2 completely separate dressings. I don't know what's going on here.
No. I think what he means here is Thousand Island. I think that's what he means.
But that's his number 4.
Oh, is it? Oh no, you're right. I think he's got Thousand Island. Isn't French with Western dressing? Isn't that Thousand Island? That's what I always thought Thousand Island was.
No.
No? Okay.
Thousand Island's like ketchup and mayonnaise and relish together.
There's ketchup in Thousand Island?
Oh, hell yes.
Yuck.
That's why if you're a real McDonald's goer and you love your mac sauce, you order no ketchup, add mac sauce, because the extra ketchup throws off the flavor of the mac sauce.
Oh,
There's a pro McDonald's tip for you there, my friend.
I'm learning stuff every day. All right. Number 3, Caesar.
Caesar, good, great. We talked about that. Number 2, jalapeno ranch, which was your number 5, good. But his number 1 is blue cheese. I even like blue cheese. I like blue cheese dressing. I like the taste of blue cheese. But there's no way it's going on a top 5 list. No way.
What is with the Patreons and liking blue cheese salad dressing?
I mean, I like blue cheese, but yes, it definitely does not belong on a top 5. But it's really good on wings, though. That's for sure. Okay, Zip, yeah, you kind of... especially that number 5, this French Western thing, my mind is blown.
Crash and burn, man.
Yeah,
Crash and burn.
Big time. Archbishops, number 5, Caesar, heavy on the anchovy. Okay. I'm not against this. I know a lot of people don't like anchovies, Draq. I'm sure you hate anchovies, right?
100% hate
Yeah, shocker.
Yeah,
Big time shocker. They're not super great.
My complex palate can't handle it.
Well, I mean, you like salt, right? Anchovy is just literally fish salt, is all it is in a protein form. It's
Slimy
so unbelievably
fish salt.
I guess, yeah, maybe a little bit of slime with it too. I don't mind an anchovy. It's hard for me to like eat an anchovy pizza, and they usually don't put too many anchovies on it because they're so overwhelming. It's just not great. And so Caesar with anchovy, okay. I can see where your palate's going because your number 4 is balsamic vinaigrette. Good. Definitely takes a good palate to eat that, as Draq doesn't have one. But then the blue cheese returns. So all 3 so far of our Patreons have had blue cheese on their list. And okay.
Yikes.
So
maybe
yeah.
Dwimble will redeem me.
Maybe. Number 2, Asian sesame. I assume that this is just the sesame as opposed to the sesame ginger, which is what I prefer. And last, buttermilk ranch. You didn't even have buttermilk on your list, Draq. What's up with that? I thought you were the ranch connoisseur.
I mean, I think that it goes classic, and then the what is the middle?
The home style.
It goes classic home style. Then
I feel like home style is just another word for classic.
No. Get out? Just get out. No.
Oh, your list is so terrible. All right. Speaking of terrible lists, let's look at Dwimble. This is literally what he put. He didn't even put any more than one ranch. The man only eats ranch dressing.
In my mind, he only eats Hidden Valley Ranch because that's what I think. When anyone just puts regular ranch, what they really mean is Hidden Valley Ranch.
Yep, which is valid because that's a great ranch dressing.
Yep, I picture him carrying it around in like a Western holster, like he's driving around in a white van with a ranch dressing in his Western holster. I
feel like he actually had in the holster is like a squirt gun that looks like a real gun, but it squirts out ranch dressing.
Yes. Yeah, and maybe he's got 2 holsters, one with ranch dressing and the other with Tabasco sauce.
There you go. So he's the ranch dressing cowboy. Yeehaw, Dwimble!
Before you leave, we've one final word. Before you've forgotten all that you've heard, there is a moment evergreen. Stay here a while and listen to me.
All right, Dymlos, it's come to that time.
Is this where we're going to say goodbye?
Yeah, this is where we're going to say goodbye. You know, I was thinking about it, though. I was thinking about, like, what would Desrin, Theric, and Minus think about the rewind if they listen to it now? Like, we've gone from, like, this super serious, like, in-depth Pantheon coverage to
lore-heavy
Dwimble in with ranch shooters.
I feel like Minus and Theric and Desrin are just rolling over in their graves right now. Like
I feel a heavy sigh and shaking of the head with lots of judgment.
Thank God they never listen to the show.
I don't know.
Maybe if they do, they listen for about 5 minutes, get through the Pantheon stuff, and they're like, we have to shut this top 5 shit off. It's absolutely terrible. Whatever, Theric. It's the best part of our show. The fact that you don't listen to it is all the more reason.
We are having fun. So
get your loonies out of here.
Screw you. Yeah.
Just kidding. Love you, Theric.
Love you. See you next week.
Bye, everybody.